This is something that you're not gonna wanna do by hand. You're gonna want to have a lift like a telehandler or something along those lines. You don't wanna be setting up makeshift platforms in here and driving over this gap. You're gonna want something that can drive up to the edge of the pit and have the proper amount of extension to actually catch the straps that we're gonna go ahead and put in these eye bolts. And again, you wanna make sure that those things are threaded in all the way down so that the shoulder is firmly up against the casing. If they're not, you can risk pulling those out and losing this as we go. So we're gonna go ahead and set one of them up through the front side, one of them up here through the gearbox itself. And you're just gonna bring your lifting device in here. We're gonna catch these two straps and we're gonna bring them up until we actually take a little bit of the tension out. You don't want to put stress against it. Again, if it is an old gearbox, it's not the end of the world, but again, you want to try not to break anything on the way out, because if these things come apart, we can be into some pretty some disastrous moments. So again, just put a little bit of tension on those with your lifting device. Again, telehandler preferably, or a forklift with some pretty long forks. And once you've got it supported and you've got the weight off of it, we can start to actually unbolt all the bolts that are actually holding this guy in, and we can take a look at those. We've got two on the back wall here coming in from the exit end towards the gearbox, and then we have 4 coming up from the bottom to actually fasten that. So we can come in and take a look at where those guys are. Okay, so with the weight of the gearbox and motor supported on the straps, we can come in, we can remove these 2 bolts here. I believe we're using an 1 7/16 socket. Then we can actually get up underneath here. Underneath there's 4 that are actually securing the bottom of the gearbox to the frame. We'll pull out all 6 of those bolts, again with the weight of this supported. Once we have those 6 bolts on, we can pull that gearbox up, get it out of the way, bring in our new motor gearbox, bring it into position. We'll drop it down slowly, and while still supporting the weight of the motor gearbox with the new straps, we can actually reinsert these. I like to get all 6 of the bolts started and then slowly kind of moving between all 6 of them. Tighten them a little bit each as you go uniformly. You don't just want to snug in all the ones up here, because then we can leave a gap down here in between the bottom of the gearbox and the actual frame. We want to make sure that everything is pulled into its locations tightly with no funny gaps or any kind of misalignment. That way we don't have to do any kind of alignment between the gearbox and our bearings again. Everything should just drop into place, and we should be able to reassemble everything else without any issues.